Right, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to our very next episode of Modesty Table, and we're so happy and delighted today to be joined by the amazing Abdiya Iman. How are you doing?
Hello, walaikum salam. I'm doing really well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, I'm really well, and we'll go into that in a little bit because you've really had me doing some things today. But Alhamdulillah. So, Modesty Table, guys, you guys know how it goes. We're talking to real women from all around the world who are doing some amazing things, and Abdiya is one of them. Modesty Table, of course, is powered by World Hijab Day organization, and you can find us on all social media platforms. And we have a website that you can check out for more information as well, worldhijabday.com. So, Sister Abdiya, I met Abdiya through something called Modest Fitness Week. If you guys didn't catch it, you missed out, because Modest Fitness Week is this amazing concept. And Sister Abdiya is founder of that. I'm going to let you take over and tell us a little bit more about Modest Fitness Week, how it went down, how the response was, and how amazing it was, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am not at all fitness fanatic. I've never been super into fitness. But over sort of like the past year, sort of half a year, I started seeing some incredible women on Instagram. You know, Instagram just shows you, a small percentage of really what's out there. So I started bumping into lots of incredible women who are into fitness, personal trainers, and hijabis as well. And I just thought, how incredible, and then seeing the activewear companies as well, creating this incredible clothing for, Muslim women to be able to, work out and, do whatever they want to do, but feel covered and comfortable. And so I was like, wow, I really need to make something for these people, make a platform. I love creating community platforms and bringing people together. And, we can already, come together through faith, and to be able to come together and have that common space with other things like fitness, which is so important, especially as a Muslim, to look after our bodies physically and mentally. It was just so much fun. So we launched back in December with a week-long event, and we had over 50 hours of workouts, health conferences, and modest activewear brands presentations as well. So that's Modest Fitness Week. Alhamdulillah, went really, really well. We had lots of people join us. And yeah, that's where Modest Fitness all began.
I mean, amazing, because I think one of the best things for me was the fact that you were connecting to so many women from all around the world, literally. And we all have a sort of similar story, really, when it comes to, our faith and our experience navigating this dunya as Muslim women. So what, amazing, amazing platform. I had so much fun. If you could tell us a little bit more about yourself, and your hijab story as well, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from the UK. I'm from Norwich, which is a smallish city in East Anglia. But I moved to Morocco when I was 18 to study Quran, and when I finished there, I got married and moved to Spain. It all happened quite fast. But I've been living in Spain now for 7 years, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's how I sort of got out of my comfort zone, had to learn a new language, and very quickly realized that if I wanted to do things that I was passionate about, I had to sort of go online, start meeting women through, socials, and really create my community that way, and still be able to, speak my native tongue and, enjoy life in that way.
I think we might have lost you, Sister Abdiya. Are you still there? You've just got to love technology, right? Alhamdulillah, it's amazing, but sometimes we can lose a bit of signal. Hopefully we've got Sister Abdiya back. How are you doing? You're back. You're back. Yeah. We heard about your amazing travels and almost a whirlwind love story that ended up with you living in Spain, which is amazing. And then if you can just let us know, how did you put on the hijab? What made you put it on? What's your hijab story?
Yeah, so I'd say my hijab sort of journey started when I was about 13. I was surrounded by a lot of women.
I think we may have lost you again.
Oh no.
There you are, I can hear you.
Okay, that's weird. So it was like a natural step for me to start wearing my hijab, even though it was like part-time. I'd wear like a turban, and I generally do wear turban style with like high neck clothing. And so I'd wear it on the weekends or when I go out with my friends and things like that. And then when I was 16, I was like, actually, I kind of feel a bit weird when I'm not wearing it now. So I started wearing it at school for A-levels and things like that. I started wearing turbans when I was about 16, full time. So that's it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I was actually thinking to move schools and do A-levels in another school because I thought it might have made it easier for me. But actually, in the end, right at the last minute, I decided to stay in my school, and my friends actually were the people that made it an easier sort of transition. So I'm glad. But I don't have any sort of like very impactful story with it. It was just felt like the natural step at that age. So
Amazing,
yeah.
amazing. So look, one of the questions that as hijabis we always get asked is, are you oppressed? So let me
Very
put that.
Yeah, so no, not at all. I don't feel like I am. I think as a society, we're all kind of like in some way sort of restricted in life in general, especially look at the situation that we're living in right now and people around the world. But my hijab is the last thing that's going to oppress me. I feel like it's empowering. I can have different levels of, for example, when I'm with my girlfriends, I take it off, I relax, and it's like a different energy. And when I'm out, I feel like protected. We think it's something like visible and material, but it's something quite like on an energetic level. It's very different as well. I don't know if you've experienced that, but I noticed when I started wearing it to school full time, my friends who were guys, they started treating me a bit differently. They wouldn't like stand so close, but they were still very friendly and my friends. So I think it is it's very interesting. But no, I feel like actually the hijab and modesty has actually given me a lot of opportunities. So yeah, alhamdulillah.
That's great. And I mean, it brings me on very nicely to the next question, which is, do you think it's ever held you back in anything you want to do?
I don't know what my life would have been like if I wouldn't have worn the hijab, so it's difficult to answer that. But I feel like the decisions that I've taken in life have been very much, especially in the last sort of 3 years since I've been doing content creation for modest fashion brands and within the space, it's been sort of like my way in as such, and I'm not using it to get something, but because I do wear it, it's given me loads of opportunities. I don't know whether people would have sort of seen me in the same way if I didn't wear hijab. I don't know, but I think to be able to be identified as Muslim and a British Muslim is very, it's quite curious for people, and I've had a lot of opportunities just from sort of the back of interesting conversations. So.
I mean, it's always, something that other people worry about. We hear a lot of influencers, perhaps, who have a struggle with hijab and have taken it off. Then they experience a lot of backlash. And it's quite a difficult world right now, a difficult society right now, with a lot of sort of maybe hijabophobia, a lot of sentiment, a lot of judgy Muslims and non-Muslims out there. Why are you doing it? Are you oppressed? You'd be more beautiful without it. These type of conversations. What would you advise people who are sort of watching and who are worried about wearing the hijab or are having a bit of a struggle with wearing the hijab? Have you got any advice?
I'd always say, if you're struggling with the outward religious practices, if you believe that this is like one of them, like concentrate on the inward. you know, like sometimes it's okay to go back to what we might call like the basics and focus on there. You know, a foundation is so important in Islam. I am not the kind of person that would ever, you know, if someone is being made to feel like their life's more difficult with hijab, like I would always just recommend that they focus on the foundation, focus on the basics. And we're always, you know, we want to get better at worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like life is a journey. It's not one day to the next. And I think, you know, in terms of like influencers on Instagram, I think the fact that we even give it so much attention, we're actually making the situation a whole lot worse. If we would just let people live, let people, you know, go on their journey. We've misunderstood, in my opinion, what this idea of like nasiha or like counsel is about. And I think if we just, you know, make dua for people that they, you know, that Allah protects them always, and that they, you know, we all stay on the straight path. And you know, my friends, my family members even have taken hijab off, hijab on, and it doesn't need to sort of, it doesn't mean it's reflected in their worship in other ways, you know. But I feel, that would be my advice. I'm not sure if it's.
No, honestly, it's very important points, because faith is such a personal experience and connection, and you know, it's like you said, we're all so different. No one person can be the same. And again, I think it's important to mention here that hijab isn't the be all end all or reflection or the end goal of your faith being high. So you know, we hope you know, within our struggles, within our, you know, being on social media, it actually encourages people to look deeper within themselves. I think it's a great message to check out, you know, your foundations, because, you know, strengthening your iman is the first and foremost. And I'm so looking forward to Ramadan. Is not far away now, so you know, inshallah, we're reaching that milestone again in the year, so we can focus on our taqwa and our belief. And you raise a very valid point when you know, when it comes to nasiha, when it comes to advice, when it comes to community support, I think as a community we could be a lot more supportive.
We're out of balance. Yeah, we're out of balance. Like I feel, you know, and we've witnessed it over the, you know, last few years on social media. If an influencer does take a hijab off, the others that are, you know, there've been a couple that do wear full hijab. They're very quick to speak and mention. Maybe they don't mention by name, but they're obviously making videos about that, and I'm very much against that. People would ask my opinion about, oh, what do you think about this? And I just don't have one. Like, I genuinely just don't have one. You know, I think we should be raising women up, you know, not trying to advise other people about their dress by giving examples of other people that have, you know, not addressing how they think. So it's a very you know, sensitive subject. But I made a post recently on my personal Instagram page about, you know, the hijab around World Hijab Day. And, you know, we put a lot of importance on hijab, and it is such a gift to be able to wear hijab. But there's loads of aspects of the deen that we need to focus on. And, you know, it's more sort of devastating for me if I meet a woman who wears hijab but doesn't pray than if they pray and don't wear hijab. You know, I think we need to just get that balance back and help each other on like the fundamentals. So, but yeah, I'm very grateful that I feel comfortable in my hijab and I don't have to style my hair every day.
Alhamdulillah, you know, I mean, yeah, bad hair day, but we can have bad hijab days as well. I feel like, have you ever had one of those, you know, it's the point for me. It's sometimes you can never get the point, and it's like a double point or a triple point, and you know, it can be a bit. I definitely have bad hijab days. Like, let's be real. But you know, for me, okay, what about what motivates you to keep wearing the hijab and being, because you know what, when we're talking about motivation, you have recently become one of my favorite motivating influencers, right? Throughout everything, and that's including sort of deen and self-care, self-love, this fitness journey that you're on. I'd almost call you a fitness fanatic right now, you know. But you know, it's all brilliant stuff and it's all motivating. But what motivates you to keep wearing the hijab and keep going and doing whatever you want to do without it, you know, affecting you negatively?
I think one of the important things is that, you know, like every aspect of the deen and the hijab, you know, if we're saying hijab is part of the deen, we have to remember that Allah gives us that ability and he takes it away. You know, we ourselves don't sort of wake up in the morning and think, I love wearing hijab. Like, he's given the love of the hijab within us. And I think, you know, so for me, I like wearing it. I identify with it. I feel more protected and in control of my, like, you know, close surroundings. Like, I love being able to, you know, greet other Muslim women or men in the street and that they recognize me as Muslim. Like, I love all that. But Allah has given me that love, you know? So I think it's just really important. It's easy to say, like, oh, you know, like, identify with it. But really, it's like, you have to be grateful for these things daily. And also, yeah, like, I don't ever have those sort of like, well, shall I take it off today or just wear my hair down? Like, I can have all that with my girlfriends and have a party or, you know, with my, you know, at home. And I'm very content with that. But I think it's important to have those times as well. You know, not be so strict that you don't even show it with, you know, take your scarf off and relax with your friends or with your, you know, with your family. You know, there has to be a balance. So yeah.
Absolutely. And I think we have to talk now and let everyone know why we're in sportswear and how exciting of a journey this sort of fitness journey has been, because you know, not only did you set up Modest Fitness Week, which, you know, hopefully, inshallah, it's going to be bigger and stronger and better every year. And you've put up a challenge, which I'm taking part in currently as well. And this challenge is called Me to Her. Tell us a little bit more about that and where did the idea come from?
So yeah, after Modest Fitness Week, obviously people were like, what's happening next? You know, we had all these incredible instructors and we didn't really have a plan of like how to go forward. So I sat down and I started brainstorming, like, how do I feel about fitness? Like, truly, Abdiya, like what is going on with you and fitness? Like, what's your relationship with it? I was like, I don't have the energy, I don't have the time. I really want to be fit one day, but not today. I won't, you know, I really want to be that girl that's like going to the gym, lifting weights. Like, who doesn't want to be like that, you know, to just feel strong and just feel independent, don't need to like rely on anyone to, you know, build some furniture or I don't know. Anyway, so I was writing down all these ideas, all these triggers for me. And I realized, like, if I'm feeling like this, like, there must be hundreds and thousands of other women. And when we speak about how we want to be, it's almost like we're speaking about this other woman, you know, but really it's like the best version of ourselves, what we're capable of being. So that's why we named this new challenge Me to Her. And it's all about becoming the best version of yourself. And we thought this was a perfect way to sort of transition people through not doing fitness, not liking fitness, not taking time out of their day to look after themselves, to look after their body, to look after their mental health, to begin our full-time program where people are just loving fitness and enjoying it. So this Me to Her challenge is a 30-day program where you have short workouts every day, an educational podcast, and obviously access to our group, which is our accountability, which is so, so important. The most important aspects of this program is that there's variety. So we've got lots of different types of fitness, whether it be Zumba, Pilates, yoga, kickboxing, guided mindfulness runs, boxing, Debka dancing. We've got like such a wide variety of different fitness specialities. So you are like excited about the next day. What am I going to do? Keep things fun. It's not the same old going to the gym or going to the same class. And then we have the educational podcast, and we really wanted people to feel inspired, but also keep learning about their bodies so they can, the time that they're not doing their fitness class or not listening to the podcast, they can make responsible decisions about their nutrition, about their, self-care, time management, and so many other aspects. So it's really like a holistic way of looking at fitness and, helping women fall in love with exercise. That is the most important thing. I want to love working out, and I hated working out, and it is a journey. It's not like I love working out. I really enjoy it, but I feel like there's, more I can go even further, So yeah, that's the Meet Her challenge. And it's just so incredible to be able to work with these instructors that are so passionate about what they do, and they're especially passionate to help other Muslim women. And that's just what I love. And of course, this program, this whole platform is not exclusive for Muslim women, but to be able to create something with them in mind is beautiful. So yeah, I feel very privileged to be able to be doing this.
I mean, there's so many amazing points and aspects of this. The fact that you've got such a variety, and the other thing is, it's like a safe space, isn't it? It's become a safe space, specifically orientated around, people who choose to cover. And we're always talking about representation within the media, within social media, and around the world and stuff. And I think it's really important to know that there are so many amazing Muslim women out there who are at the forefront of their fields, whether it's kickboxing, weightlifting. The amount of young girls who are now coming through as it's called deadlift weighting weights or something, and I'm just like, oh my god, like they're so young and doing so something so weird and wonderful. To me, growing up, I never saw that, but now you see, like Ibtaj Muhammad, who's doing the fencing. We've got Sister Tuli, who's a basketball player and still wearing hijab, and still doing. We've got hijabi ballerinas, we've got deadlift weightlifters. It's pretty amazing. And I love the fact that this platform has been able to showcase that as well. If I asked you what your favorite sport or fitness thing was out of all of this, what would it be?
You were asking me to choose from my instructors. Do you know what? So Get Fit with Kifah is going to be doing a Debke dancing session throughout the challenge. That was so much fun.
Definitely excited about that. So the Debka, and that's something different as well, and I love the fact that it's fun aspects. These are things that perhaps we would never ever get a chance to do.
Seriously, Shreen, like I've been to weddings where they've done Debka dancing, and I love dancing, and I was just like, oh, I want to be able to dance it, and now I just can't wait for the next Palestinian wedding. I'm there.
Great. And you know what, Palestine is somewhere so close to my heart and so special. Alhamdulillah, a million times. Been able to travel there, I think 7 times in total, and wow. It's so nice to hear that even that is getting represented in this fitness sort of health thing, and I'm loving it. I have to admit, for me, fitness and health, again, like you, it's something that is always on the back burner. It's always on the back of your mind, but it's something that you get lazy about. You always think there's something more important to do. And Islam in general, of course, there's a focus on us with self-love and self-care. We have to eat well, and I have to admit, although it's a fitness challenge, I've been eating better today as well. I ate a carrot. Just thought I'd let you know.
But that's it, isn't it? It motivates you to think about other aspects, because if I'm doing all this work, I might, I'm going to make sure I drink more water. I'm going to have a healthy meal, because you start feeling more energetic. You start feeling happier and healthier. That you're like, oh, I'm going to cook a healthier meal, and it just gets easier and easier, I think. So enjoy it. Enjoy the journey.
For sure. Okay, so you managed to connect to so many Muslim women within sports, within the fitness sort of field. What's the feedback from them? What have they said about wearing the hijab and doing what they're doing within their communities? Have they mentioned that there's negativity? Is there something that we need to be talking about within this?
Do you know what? I think, they're also professional, and very much experts in their field. And, a lot of them do focus mainly on like the Muslim community. There's a lady in Sydney called Reem. She has Dream Fitness, and, she's coached thousands of Muslim women in Sydney locally, and changed their whole, outlook on fitness. And it's incredible. So I think it definitely hasn't held her back, and she's been able to actually help women within the community. Of course, during Modest Fitness Week, we heard from Bilqis and her experience with basketball and not being able to wear hijab. But I think, it is so nice to do programs like this, because we're able to help other Muslim women. So I think they have a passion for helping other women like themselves. But in terms of work or not being taken seriously, they haven't mentioned anything to me. No.
Well, it's good to hear that that there are a lot of women who are able to do what they're doing and still stay positive about it and not actually have any sort of negative experiences. But I think a few people that I've connected to, for example, on the other side of gym users, right? They do feel uncomfortable when they're wearing their hijab to the gym.
Oh yes,
which
absolutely. Yeah, no, yeah.
And obviously this would hold women back. There's also that negative thing surrounding fitness, that what you can wear and what you can't wear, that's a little tight, and why are you working out in front of men? Why are you so there's always a certain amount of things that put you off trying to be fit, which again is another reason that Modest Fitness Week, taking it onto online platforms, is another amazing way of doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I was going to say, I understood, sort of in terms of the instructors and them getting work, but in terms of women, I mean, I could go on for for ages about how my experience in the gym, the girls who, especially some of the girls that got involved with Modest Fitness as sort of sharing their stories, and how the gym actually caused them to have anxiety and depression, but at the same time help the anxiety and depression. So it was like a bit of a love-hate relationship. But I think, especially nowadays, where more and more brands are creating really nice activewear and very, modest, but very functional, and, still look like very much ready for the gym, this is actually helping women. And I think it's very empowering. And we should be supporting, I believe, the small, modest activewear brands if you can. And, because it is real. There was a time where I went to the gym, I didn't feel comfortable, so I stopped going, and it's the same for so many women. So absolutely, this platform is so important for that, for women. But at the same time, we don't want to encourage women not to go out. So we do have some times throughout the program where we encourage you to go out, and that will be like for the long-term program as well. We'll always ask you to go out a few times a month for a run, go for a walk, but also feel comfortable going to your gym. This is not to persuade you not to go to the gym. We want you to feel confident to do exactly what you want to do, and with the right activewear, with the right functional activewear, and with the confidence from inside, we can do whatever we want in sports. So it's really exciting.
I think this is it, isn't it? The message for everyone to get involved, I think, is it's very important that actually confidently we can do whatever we want to do. And wearing the hijab doesn't hold that back. Sometimes, like I went out today, so part of the Me to Her challenge, I went out for my walk, and the sun was shining. It was a bit cold, but that's where the hoodie comes in. And it gives you that opportunity and that focus on that, during that part of the day, that we are going to do something for our fitness and for our health. And walking about, you see a lot of people walking their dogs, for example, in the parks and things. You tend to get a lot of smiles, which is great. There was an old lady who didn't smile at me, and I did think a little bit, oh well, there's always one. But that's just part of life. And I think the more we surround ourselves with positive things, it will only strengthen us and give us more confidence. So alhamdulillah for that. I think it's a great initiative that you've set up, and more power to you and all the amazing ladies that have joined and that will join and benefit from that. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the challenge as well.
Yay.
Tell us a little bit more about World Hijab Day, and how did you get involved with World Hijab Day? When did you come across World Hijab Day for the first time?
Yeah, I think it was a couple of years ago when I heard about World Hijab Day. And I've done like giveaways before with brands. I've never really sort of like got involved with events. Where I live, there's not really many events going on. Maybe in like Madrid or Barcelona, but who knows, maybe next year I can organize something myself. But this year, yeah, it was really nice to, contact with you and speak about how World Hijab Day means a lot to like the fitness space. And so we created a campaign, which is obviously, World Hijab Day, end hijabophobia, but also, let's focus on fitness, not phobia. So we hashtag fitness, not phobia. And it was just focusing on, if you are hijabi and you want to work out, just do exactly what you want to do, however you want to do it, and just keep on, keep focusing on your fitness. That is the most important thing. When you go for a run, you focus on your run. If you think people are judging you, you're actually projecting those judgments on them. They might just be having a bad day, or they might just be thinking about something else. Obviously, if they say something nasty, then that's completely different. But sometimes we think, oh, they're looking at me funny, or Lynn speaks about that in the runs and in the walks and things like that, how we often sort of think that someone might be thinking bad about us, but really us thinking that is actually thinking bad about them.
Yeah.
So
the old lady's okay. I'll smile at her next time anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, just focusing on looking after our bodies. Obviously, our bodies is an amana from Allah, and we should look after it as best as we can.
So a lot of the times, the past few years, the campaign has always had a hashtag, and it's so nice that you created your own hashtag and were able to push out in end hijabophobia as well. I think we've had strong in hijab, we've had empowered in hijab. How important do you think this year's campaign was? With hashtag end hijabophobia. How important do you think that was for us to push out, especially bearing in mind that there are so many countries right now that are sort of in the process of banning the hijab? I think through the World Hijab Day conference, I learned so much myself with the speakers and the panelists. And, they told us, I mean, can you believe not being able to wear the hijab before 18 years old of age? It's crazy. So how important do you think the campaign was this year?
Yeah, I mean, especially in the situation that we find ourselves politically, it's going to be increasingly difficult, unfortunately, I think. And it seems so hypocritical of governments to say, you can't wear niqab, but you can wear a mask. I mean, it's just a lot. You just laugh. It's just so ridiculous. But just as people fight for any rights to live their life as they should, why is hijab not the same? It's literally a piece of cloth on our heads. Like, some people wear hats, some people wear a scarf. I don't know why they take it to this extreme to think that it's something completely different. It's really, and people can share their religion in so many ways, whether it's Sikh men wearing turbans or Christians wearing a cross, or it's just a shame that we seem to be sort of like under a target. And I think until things move on politically, in my opinion, we just have to keep fighting and keep make a dua and just keep living our lives as best we can to our true selves. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I mean, if I was to ask you, actually, let's make it a little bit more fashionable about the fashion side of hijab, because of course you are a influencer. You've got many followers on Instagram, and young girls and girls alike, women, look up to you. And like I said, you're one of my favorite motivational people right now. Especially on the fitness aspect, because I mean, if you think about it, lockdown has been quite tough on that side of things. A lot of us have put on a little bit of extra weight over lockdown, and simply because, not just because we're pigging out or we're eating too
Not
much,
moving as much.
We're not moving as much. So this has had an effect on mental health and stuff, and but I think I've lost my question there. But
in terms of fashion,
in terms of fashion, where do you sit with I was going to ask you, what's your favorite color hijab, and do you prefer patterned or do you prefer plain? What kind of tips would you have for anyone who's feeling a bit self-conscious in the fact that they've not tried on hijab, for example, before? What do you prefer and what do you think works best?
So right now I a lot of the time wear like turban style. This is actually like a workout hijab that I'm like testing out, and I'm
like
really liking
it.
Yeah, it's really, I can hardly feel that it's on. Like it's that.
What material is it? Because it looks so light.
I'll have to have a little look, but it feels really, really light. It's a bit stretchy. So I guess it's probably got some polyester and like maybe do you know what? No, it doesn't have polyester. I'll let you know. So I am in love with this teal hijab turban that I have. It's actually like a hoodie hijab, and it's from a Parallel, and they're made ethically and really good quality scarves from the US. And I just love that color. I don't know, I just love it. I also like greens, and when I was younger, I used to wear all pattern hijabs. I was always in patterns, florals especially. And now I'm all about the solid colors. But
I think it's the same. It's
never
black.
Never black.
Never black, really.
No.
I have to admit, I'm one of those that the go-to color for me happens to be black. I don't know whether that it's just it matches with it. When you're going for meetings and professionally, not that I've gone on a meeting for like nearly a year now, but part of your suits, boots, and I tended to always wear black, but now I'm trying to wear lighter colors.
They really suit you.
Just to mix it up. Oh, thank you. So it's nice to just mix it up, but sometimes you go shopping and you spot such a beautiful pattern scarf, you bring it home and you wear it and you're just like, ooh, it doesn't look so.
I do definitely love my patterns. I really do. And I you can wear them. For example, if I wear my turban and I've got a plain outfit, you can like bring a floral over to like make it into like a more of a hijab look. Or you can wear it underneath as like an undercap, the floral, the patterned, and then have like a plain one over the top. And with turbans, they don't seem like so in your face because it's sort of wrapped up. So you could have like a plain scarf around to sort of like cover your neck. So I do that a lot as well.
And with again, going back to the fact that you're on social media, have you experienced any sort of negativity or backlash about obviously it's a bit of a leading question, isn't it? Tell us all about it. Tell Auntie Shreen all about it.
I get a lot of advice on how to wear my hijab properly. So I haven't had hardly any sort of mean comments about wearing it, but I get sort of, I'd say, unwanted advice about how I should be wearing it better. And it gets to the point where I'm sure they're well-intentioned, but they need to learn how to voice their opinions, because the kind of comments, and alhamdulillah, like I don't let them get to me, but sometimes I have to just say something because I feel like if they're saying it to another girl who is that very morning was like, shall I wear my hijab today or not? I can't bear it. I don't like it. Like that literally could have just pushed them off the edge, and I think they say, oh no, I'm just letting you know that, I can see your hair or I can see your neck or that's not hijab. It's like, that comment could literally have just pushed me to actually take it off. And I'm very much of the opinion that it's not all or nothing. I didn't start wearing my hijab one day to the next. It took me 3 years. And for some women, they might not wear it to work, but wear it everywhere else. And that's how they feel comfortable. But at one point, they might get to a point where they wear it full time. So what's better? You know, what's better? Is it better to wear it some of the week and not, and, you know, people would say, oh, I'd feel like a hypocrite. Well, that just might be your journey to it. And I think if we thought of our daughters, would we say to them, don't wear hijab unless you're going to wear it full time? Well, I don't know if I could say that to her. You know, it doesn't come naturally to a mother, I don't think. So yeah, I have had like a lot of mean comments and DMs, but it doesn't affect me, alhamdulillah, because I'm very comfortable in my identity and how I dress. I've always been quite confident in that aspect, but I do worry about other young people and people of any age who are, you know, finding it difficult to enjoy the hijab.
Absolutely. I think it is tough out there, isn't it? Social media is very easy for people to send DMs from fake profiles these days. You know, I think technology has seen the advent of trolling and mansplaining to another level. You know, so it's an unfortunate side of social media, but the benefits and the way that the world has almost become not as big as it used to be, the fact that you can connect to people from all around the world, I think is amazing. It just means that all the good stuff is multiplied, but then sometimes the bad stuff can also be multiplied. What advice would you have to people who want to be doing what you want to be doing, what you're doing right now?
Yeah, in terms of like content creation or in terms of fitness?
Well, a bit of both. Content creation, being out there as a, you know, visibly Muslim woman.
Yeah. I think the most important thing is that you're comfortable in your skin. And I think, you know, we're all on the path to self-discovery. And, you know, I've heard many times that if you want to find yourself, find God. And if you want to find God, find yourself. You know, it's really important to connect with, you know, sit with yourself and understand who you are, accept yourself. I've, in so much of my childhood, and if my sister's listening to this, she'll laugh, like, I would just say exactly what was on my mind. I didn't have a filter. And she'd often sort of look at me and be like, discretion, Abdiya, discretion, you know, like just, you know. And I was looking back at videos of when I was in Morocco, that's like almost 10 years ago. And, you know, just singing and dancing and just being a bit crazy. And do you know what? I look back at that video and, you know, see someone commented underneath. I was just watching it today. Oh, wow, you know, Abdiya is being Abdiya. And I just thought, yeah, that is me. And, you know, I might not share every side of myself on social media. That's fine. That's fine. But accept yourself for who you are, whether you share all of you online or just a part of you online, but you have to accept yourself. Always try to be the best version of yourself, but accept yourself, please, you know. And in terms of like content creation, putting yourself out there, it's a slow process, you know. You want to find like exactly what you want to do, what kind of things you want to, if you want to promote, if you don't want to promote, what do you like talking about? Never compromise your voice, never compromise your what you want to speak about. Always speak about exactly what you want to speak about. Do the content exactly how you want to do it. Don't feel like, oh, no one's following me, so I need to change what I'm speaking about. No, you continue being you and the people will come. It might take them, you know, a longer time or a shorter time, but they will come, and you just have to continue being authentic.
I think those are definitely powerful messages there. I've heard that one a lot, about being authentic and being true to yourself almost. And those are definitely messages I think that, you know, we can all take benefit from.
Yeah, I think also, like, don't feel like you need to share your whole life. There's so many things that I have opinions about that I would never share on social media. And, you know, that is a protection in itself. You wouldn't go outside your house and just scream your whole opinions to your neighbors. And it's the same with social media. You know, you do need to protect yourself. You do need to guard there's certain things that you need to guard. Unless you you don't mind the backlash, but just to have, at the end of the day, we just want to be happy and have peaceful lives, and you have to know how to use social media in a responsible way.
For sure. And yourself, like, when did this journey start for you, on social media, and how long has it taken you to get to the point where you are now? Have you always been so, confident and motivating,
Yeah, so back in 2018, was it 2018? I'm like, yeah, I think it was 2018. Yeah. I posted my story on Muslims of the World, which had, loads of followers at the time. And I started, I went from like 600 followers to like 2,000 or 3,000, pretty much overnight, really. And then I got asked if I would do a collaboration with an Abdiya brand from London. And I was like, oh, this is weird. Like, how does this work? So I was like, okay. And actually, my dad reminded me, and my sisters, from a very young age, I love posing in front of the camera. I love just like making funny poses, smiling, laughing, and people taking pictures of me. So, I've got like this little picture here on my desk, me when I was little, just like, casually putting the hand up by the ear, so when I went to the Alcázar here in Seville. It's a beautiful palace, and I was in this abaya, and everyone was walking past like, wow, she looks like a princess. And I was like, oh, this is quite cool. I was taking pictures. I felt so royal, and I just found it so fun. That's the thing. I just found it fun. Then I was able to work with really incredible photographers. You might know Rufal, from, everyone knows Rufal, and makeup artists, and so, and it just started growing like that. And I'd work with more brands and, different projects and different photo shoots. So that's how it grew, really. It did take, 2.5 years to get where I am. I'm not like the world's best influencer by far, but, by any means, but it's now I love focusing on the things that I'm doing now, like the projects, and actually really getting your teeth into something, really getting your teeth into a project that you're passionate about. So right now, like, content creation is by far not like my job, like my full-time job, or my where I'm focusing most of my time. It's sort of like when I have some free time, whereas before it was more like 40% of my time. So yeah.
I mean, I think it's great, and it's like you said, isn't it? When you see that passion, when you can follow anyone on social media, but when you see that it's authentic and it's passionate and it really gets you in. And I think this is the special thing about you and, your social media page as well. So I'm sure, inshallah, everybody's going to go catch up with you on Instagram, because motivation 24/7 for sure.
Well, yeah, especially over at Modest Fitness Week, because that's where I really do want to like share something quite specific, and how my journey is happening with fitness. And we all have very similar difficulties, whether it be we don't have enough time, we don't have enough energy, we've got too much going on, too much work, too many responsibilities, the house, the kids, like, these are all things that women deal with and go through. But what does that mean? That we can't spend half an hour for ourselves? Like, we do need to like take that time back and take control of our health. So yeah, it's really fun.
What's been the best thing about, being on this fitness journey for you? What's your favorite thing? What's the best thing that's happened out of it?
Yeah, definitely the community. I love the accountability and feeling like people are making sure I'm doing it. And I've had that, for a while now. And also just feeling more capable, like realizing that my body is has so much capabilities, and being able to do a workout and feel amazing. And it's kind of becoming a bit of an addiction, and I kind of like it.
It's not that thing to be addicted to, right?
Yeah, obviously, everything in moderation, but to be able to just feel excited, like that's the most important thing for me. Was I needed to fall in love with exercise so that it wasn't a chore. And I hope with the Me to Her challenge that people really can fall in love with moving their bodies and trying out new things. So yeah, that's really fun.
and improving fitness and health, because that's, for me, I think that was the focus of it. That not only have I put on a little bit of extra weight, it's more that, that it's the lack of moving, it's the lack of feeling fit, and you don't want to, you're hitting an age where, we're sort of post, I'm a little over 30, and you worry about long-term health effects as well. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm 27, but I worry, whether it be about fertility or like my health long term. Everyone's got something, it seems nowadays, that's like something, whether it be a small health issue or a big health issue. So yeah, it's so important that we take on this responsibility now. As soon as we sort of wake up to it, we have that responsibility.
I think this will be my last sort of question, social media related. With fitness, with health, with mental health as well, a lot of the times people are watching social media, perfect sort of Instagram feeds, and the glamorous lifestyle. And you yourself, mashallah, you are quite glamorous, and you are quite motivational and all of that. Do you have off days as well? And what advice would you give to people who are looking at that and thinking, I could never be like, that motivated. I could never be, what advice would you have for them?
Yeah, I mean, social media content creators, influencers, like that's not their life really. We take photos once a month, twice a month, 3 times a month. We make our makeup look good, and we go out and we have an amazing photographer who takes amazing photos, and it's like, or they're all great, and then you take them by yourself another day, you're like, whoa, I don't look like that, do I? But for Modest Fitness Week, obviously, it's my career now, it's my job, it's what I love to do. So you kind of, once you start getting this creative head on, things start to sort of like roll, and you get excited when you think of a new idea, something new that you can talk about. And they normally come out of like conversations with people, or, different sort of like brainstormings that you've had with your team. So of course, like most of the day I'm sat here at my desk without any makeup on, just like hair everywhere, and just like chilling out. Well, not chilling out, working, but, not looking at all glamorous. And then it's like, okay, time to film. But I mean, I don't have any issue like going on camera without makeup on. Like the other day I did a reel of basically like encouraging people to take off their makeup before they work out, because it's not great to work out with makeup on, and that's real life. And I want Modest Fitness Week to be all about just real women who want to look after themselves, and have fun. Yeah,
I think that's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And I think this is why with Modesty Table, we're here trying to, focus on Muslim women from all around the world doing different things. And I think you've absolutely nailed everything that you've said. You've spoken about with physical health and being motivated, staying motivated. And the biggest thing is trying to be the best version of yourself. And for me, I think it's very easy to fall into the comparing life, especially with social media and all of that stuff. You compare your body, you compare your face, you compare your hijab style, you compare till the end of time. You could continue to do that, but really, I think, and even with the judgy Muslims, the judgy people, saying things, I think the most important thing for us is to work on ourselves. That energy that we expend, looking through endless profiles of perfection, sometimes can be used better by focusing on ourselves and building on ourselves.
absolutely. Yeah, I was just going to say, like, there's no reason to be spending hours on social media unless you have a reason to be there. That might be because you get clients from social media, customers, or you're trying to build your business, or your social media manager, like community manager. Like, there's no need to be spending hours of your day on social media. And of course, there's been moments where I look at someone, I'm like, oh, I wish I had that house, or I wish I had, that jacket or whatever. But if you are seriously thinking that every day, you need to step back, because it's not a healthy relationship with social media. And, I hope people see that behind each of these social media influencers or whatever, they're just real people and they're just getting good angles. You know,
there's still plates in the sink, there's still, you know,
oh yeah, still bathrooms to clean, there's still beds to be made.
Absolutely. So if we could have like a final message from you about you know, why Muslim women should still go and you know, focus on their fitness, their health, that would be great. And yeah.
I mean, you know, as Muslim women, we are no different to any other human on this planet in terms of needing to look after our body. Our bodies need to be trained and looked after. Like anything we have in our lives that means a lot to us, we look after them. You know, like if we have a child, like we're going to bath them, we're going to change them, we're going to look after them, we're going to sing to them. Like, why do we not do that for ourselves? You know, why don't, and we know like going for a run, like keeping our muscles healthy, you know, we're going to prevent arthritis, lots of illnesses, so many, you know, heart problems, lung problems, all these things can be prevented or help be prevented by working out. And really, like, Allah's gift, like, lent us this body to live through dunya with, you know, in, and, you know, it's not, we have to look after it. Like, that's what's sort of like pushing me. And you know, like, enjoy this gift that Allah has lent to us. So that's what really sort of like keeps me on track, and I hope people can, you know, relate to that and take that away from today. Yeah,
absolutely. I just want to say a big thank you so much for taking time.
Thank you for having me.
You're doing all sorts right now. I know you're setting up podcasts, you're doing all this Modest Fitness Week stuff, you're doing some amazing stuff with you know, modest brands and things. So I'm looking forward to, inshallah. I think there will come a point where we have to get the guests on, you know, maybe a little while after, and hear more about all the exciting things that they've done. So inshallah, we look forward to connecting with you again as well. But other than that, I want to say thank you to everyone who's tuned in. If you've enjoyed today's episode, please leave a comment and you know, like, share and subscribe. I'm not used to this, but you know, you can do that. So the YouTube channel, of course, whether you've watched it on Facebook, whether you've watched it on Instagram, let us know. We love to hear you know, all sorts of feedback, and if you've got any suggestions, any topics you guys want to cover, let us know as well. I've been your host today, Shreen Mahmood, and I look forward to seeing you again next Friday, 6 p.m. EST time. Take care. God bless. Assalamu alaikum.
Thanks.